In the vast and formidable arsenal of the Russian Aerospace Forces, no aircraft commands more respect or represents a greater concentration of strategic power than the Tupolev Tu-160. Known by its NATO reporting name Blackjack, this supersonic, variable sweep-wing heavy strategic bomber is the largest and heaviest combat aircraft in the world. It is designed to deliver both nuclear and conventional payloads deep into enemy territory, flying at incredible speeds to outrun intercepting fighters. The Tu-160 is more than just a weapon. It is a powerful symbol of Russian military might and technological prowess, a direct counterpart to the American B-1B Lancer, but with even greater speed and payload capacity. The importance of the Tu-160 cannot be overstated, especially in the context of modern conflicts. These bombers are the spearhead of Russia's long-range aviation, capable of launching devastating strikes from thousands of kilometers away. Their ability to carry long-range cruise missiles, such as the Kh-101, allows them to hit critical infrastructure and military targets without ever having to enter contested airspace. This standoff capability makes them an exceptionally valuable asset. Preserving this fleet is a paramount concern for the Russian military command, as each aircraft represents a significant investment and a crucial component of its strategic deterrence posture against global adversaries. The current fleet of these magnificent machines is remarkably small, which further elevates their strategic value. Following the collapse of the Soviet Union, production ceased and the existing fleet was divided. While Russia inherited a number of these bombers, others were left in Ukraine and later dismantled under international agreements. After years of service and some unfortunate crashes, only around 16 of the original Soviet-era bombers remain operational. This scarcity makes each individual Tu-160 an almost irreplaceable asset, a crown jewel of the Air Force that must be protected at all costs from any and all threats. Recognizing the critical need for this capability, Russia has taken the significant step of restarting the Tu-160 production line. The modernized version, designated the Tu-160M, incorporates advanced avionics and weaponry, ensuring the bomber remains a credible threat for decades to come. The first of these new-build aircraft took to the skies in early 2022, with ambitious plans to expand the fleet significantly. This multi-billion-dollar effort to produce dozens of new bombers underscores just how vital the Tu-160 is to Russia's long-term military planning and its vision for projecting power on a global scale. For much of the ongoing conflict, Russia's strategic bomber bases, located deep within its own territory, were considered safe havens, far from the front lines. This assumption was shattered by Ukraine's innovative and relentless use of long-range attack drones. In a series of audacious and increasingly sophisticated strikes, Ukrainian forces have demonstrated their ability to reach hundreds and even thousands of kilometers into Russia to target the very air bases that launch missile attacks against them. These operations have transformed the strategic landscape, proving that distance no longer guarantees safety for high-value military assets in the age of unmanned warfare. Engels-2 Airbase, the primary home of the Tu-160 fleet, has become a frequent target. Located near the city of Saratov, it has been struck multiple times since late 2022. These attacks have grown in complexity and effectiveness, culminating in several damaging raids throughout 2025. In January, a Ukrainian drone successfully struck a specialized fuel depot near the base, reportedly destroying vital reserves of the high-density jet fuel required by the Tu-160s. Subsequent attacks in March and, most recently, on June 6, 2025, caused major explosions and significant fires at the airbase, placing the prized bombers in direct and undeniable peril. The threat is not limited to Engels-2. In a large-scale, coordinated operation on June 1, 2025, dubbed Operation Spiderweb, Ukraine launched over 100 drones, some reportedly guided by artificial intelligence, against at least 4 separate Russian airbases. This campaign inflicted serious damage on other elements of Russia's bomber force, particularly the older Tu-95MS Bear and Tu-22M3 backfire fleets. While the Tu-160s were not reported to be damaged in this specific wave of attacks, the successful strikes on other bomber types sent a clear and chilling message. No base was beyond Ukraine's reach. These repeated attacks have forced a dramatic reassessment within the Russian military. The persistent drone threat has created a new and urgent vulnerability that its air defense systems have struggled to counter effectively. The strikes have not only risked the destruction of multi-million-dollar aircraft, but have also disrupted operations, destroyed crucial supplies, and created a powerful psychological impact. Russia now faces the undeniable reality that its most valuable strategic assets are no longer secure at their long-established home bases, compelling a radical and immediate change in strategy to ensure their preservation. Faced with the escalating and very real threat of Ukrainian drone strikes, the Russian military made a startling and seemingly contradictory decision. In early June 2025, at least two Tu-160 bombers were redeployed from the vulnerable Engels-2 Airbase to the remote Anadyr or Ugolny Airbase in Russia's Far East. This move places the bombers over 6,600 kilometers away from Ukraine, effectively putting them far outside the known range of Ukrainian drones. However, this new location in the Chukotka region is a mere 500 kilometers from the coast of Alaska, placing these strategic assets directly in the shadow of the United States. This strategic relocation highlights a significant shift in Russia's immediate threat assessment. By moving the bombers closer to U.S. territory, Russia is accepting a higher degree of surveillance and a shorter reaction time from its primary geopolitical rival. This suggests that, for the moment, the tangible and proven threat posed by Ukrainian drones is considered a more pressing danger than the theoretical risk associated with proximity to American military power. It is a calculated gamble, prioritizing the physical safety of the aircraft from immediate attack over maintaining a more conventional strategic posture relative to Washington. Despite the immense distance from the European theater, the Tu-160s based at Anadyr remain fully capable of participating in strike operations against Ukraine. This is thanks to the incredible range of the cruise missiles they carry. The Kh-101 and its nuclear-capable variant, the Kh-102, can travel up to 5,500 kilometers to their targets. This allows a Tu-160 to take off from Anadyr, fly over the Arctic or Russian territory, and launch its missiles from a safe standoff position deep within Russia, still reaching any target in Ukraine. The relocation, therefore, is about protecting the launch platform, not about removing it from the fight. The move to Anadyr is not without its own set of challenges. The airbase is extremely remote and lacks road or rail connections to the rest of Russia, making logistics a significant hurdle. All fuel, munitions, spare parts and personnel must be supplied by air or by sea during the short, ice-free summer months. Sustaining complex bomber operations from such an austere location will be difficult and expensive. Nevertheless, Russia has deemed this logistical burden a necessary price to pay to safeguard its most valuable combat aircraft from a new and persistent form of warfare that has reached deep into its heartland. The relocation of Russia's Tu-160 bombers is more than just a tactical adjustment. It is a stark illustration of how the character of modern warfare is rapidly evolving. The rise of cheap, long-range, and increasingly autonomous drones has fundamentally altered the calculus of risk and security for even the world's most powerful militaries. What were once considered secure rear areas, far from any conventional front line, are now vulnerable to precision strikes. This new reality forces commanders to make difficult choices, often trading one type of risk for another in a constant effort to protect their most critical assets. This strategic dilemma is precisely what Russia is facing. The imperative to protect its small and precious fleet of Tu-160s, essential for both the current conflict and its long-term nuclear deterrent, has become paramount. With only about 16 Soviet-era models in service and new production just beginning to ramp up, the loss of even a single bomber to a drone strike would be a major strategic, financial, and propaganda blow. The decision to move them thousands of kilometers away, despite the immense logistical costs and the proximity to US forces, shows just how seriously this new threat is being taken. This episode serves as a powerful lesson for military planners everywhere. The proliferation of unmanned systems means that geographic depth is no longer the shield it once was. Nations must now invest heavily in layered air defenses capable of detecting and defeating small, low-flying drones, not just traditional threats like aircraft and ballistic missiles. Furthermore, hardening and dispersing high-value assets will become increasingly critical. The era of concentrating strategic forces at a few large, well-known bases may be coming to an end, replaced by a need for greater agility and unpredictability. Ultimately, Russia's move to Anadyr is a defensive reaction born of necessity. It reflects a world where a determined adversary, armed with innovative and asymmetric technology, can hold a superpower's most advanced weapons at risk. This strategic shift demonstrates that in 21st century conflict, the battlefield is boundless, and safety is never guaranteed. Countries must constantly adapt, making tough, often uncomfortable decisions to preserve their military capabilities in the face of threats that are continuously changing and expanding their reach in unexpected ways.
Join Intel Prime channel membership today and get access to exclusive benefits, including early access to new videos, exclusive discounts on Intel products, behind-the-scenes content, live chat with me and other members. Other options will be soon available. Thank you for your support and for helping Intel Prime grow.